Nintendo doesn't know how to make a Splatoon game. So instead of Nintendo making Splatoon 4, I asked random Splatoon fans on the internet what they wanted Splatoon 4 to look like, and that is what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be putting together all of these comments, the top ones and even ones that are just really popular, and making Splatoon 4 based on what the community wants and not what Nintendo demands we want. But before we jump in, please consider subscribing because the majority of you guys watching this video are not subscribed, and it would greatly help the channel. Thank you so much, and we'll jump right in. Splatoon 4 is going to have a lot more customization, and the first thing we're going to add as the creators of Splatoon 4 is fully customizable apartments. Yes, full-size apartments. We had the lockers in Splatoon 3, of which you could add your decorations and, obsessively put a bunch of Squid Sisters stuff on like I do. But with these full-size apartments, you don't just have to add just a little bit of stuff. You can add full furniture, plants, full cardboard cutouts of Marie if you're me. A full cardboard cutout of Marie? I mean, I'd have that. And these will be optional to publish so people can see your apartment and get inspiration for their apartment. It'll be an amazing new gimmick for Splatoon 4, and the community will love this because it'll be similar to Animal Crossing, and because some of the same people that made Animal Crossing made Splatoon, this is going to be pretty easy. They just have to add the same gimmick of moving furniture around, and it'll be an extremely good feature. But something else customizable that you have on you all the time is your ink tank. So instead of just having the same old ink tank the entire game, we're going to add a brand new shop where you can customize your ink tank to have stickers on it, to give it a different design. You can go from the Splatoon 1, 2, and 3 ink tanks and a bunch of others that we'll add in later updates. And it will be an extremely fun customizable thing that Splatoon 4 will have. Plus, whenever your ink tank reaches full, maybe you can have your own noise that will tell you when you've reached full ink tank. Splatoon 4 is going to need a new playable species, or else it's just going to get kind of boring with these same old Inklings and Octolings. So we're going to add Cuddlings. They're going to be Cuddlefish Inkling people, and it's going to be a super cool new style of hair and a new style of character in general that people can use, but it's also going to add 2 new idols that are also Cuddlings, and they're going to have amazing new songs and amazing performances. And obviously, with new idols and a new game, you're going to need a new hub area. This new hub area is going to be older Japanese architecture styled, because if it's just me, I feel like the most recent Splatoon games have all had a city modern-like area, and they all look pretty much the same. So we're going to go for an older type of architecture. But you might say, Blade, how are you going to have the apartments if it's an older type of area? Well, my good friend, you'll just be able to travel to a totally different area, a totally new city just for the apartments. This would be able to keep the apartments separate from the main area, and also would make the game seem a lot bigger, and obviously bigger is better. Now let's talk about Turf War. Turf War has got to make some changes, or it's just going to be plain out boring as the same thing we've always had. So, as we are the creators of Splatoon 4, we'll be adding in a bunch more types of weapons and not just a bunch more kits. Every single update will add a new type of weapon, and this new type of weapon will be entirely different. It won't just be a new spray, it'll be a new way to play the game. It'll be a totally new weapon. And with new weapons, we're gonna need new subs, which will also be added, at least one new type of sub every single update. The updates will stay as 3 months apart, just like always, because obviously we can't just put out an infinite amount of this stuff, because realistically, we don't have infinite time. Turf War will also have new modes. It will have a mode where you can play single player against bots, and this will be super useful for people that want to play when they don't have an online account yet, but still want to try out all of the weapons in Splatoon and see if they want to get an online account. And of course, we'll have to also add a 5v5 mode, because this is just a new update. It's bigger Splatoon 4 and a bigger range of people to fight. So we're going to have a 5v5 mode. And speaking of difference in number of players, the new Splatfests will be 4 teams, and it'll be 2 people on each team. And this will fix the problem that we have where all of Splatoon 3's Splatfests are really weird because it's 4 versus 2 versus 2, but those 2 people can't work together on each team, so it's just kind of weird. This will make it so it's all 4 people have two players each, and it'll be super fair, and the map will have to look pretty strange, more like a plus symbol or a multiplication symbol, but Nintendo will work with it. They'll make it work, and there'll be a big area in the middle for lots of battles with these new specials and sub-weapons. But Splatoon is known for its story mode as well, so as we are creating Splatoon 4, we're also going to have to make a new story mode. So this story mode is going to be a bit different than the other story modes. It's going to be a bit bigger. The hub area before you go into the kettles is going to be a lot bigger, and it's going to have enemies that you can fight, but also it's going to have a lot of hidden collectibles and a lot of secret little scrolls. They're going to show a lot of lore into the past, which is one of the biggest things that we need to add, which is going to be a lot of lore. We're going to talk about the humans before the Inklings existed. It's going to talk about very far in the past things. It's going to have more Squid Sisters lore for me. It's going to be incredible. But whilst we have all of this, we're also going to have a lot of stuff to work on with the levels. So the levels are going to be a bit different. We're going to keep the same general design of the levels, but each level is not going to ever be boring. We're going to add in hundreds of new enemies, and we're going to add in a bunch of new mechanics like swinging, and we're going to add in all of these new types of specials to the game's story mode so that there's a bunch of different things you can do. This new story mode, though, is going to have new characters, and the cuddling idols that I talked about before will be the characters that help you, but they're not just going to stand around idle like they do in all of the other Splatoon games. They will actually be walking around with you in the levels and helping you out by maybe giving you healing items or possibly giving you new specials to use at certain times. They'll definitely be way more involved, and also they're going to have a little bit of a twist on the story. So instead of us fighting a bunch of Octarians like we literally always do, this time we're going to be fighting Sharklings. Yes, they're going to be a new story character that are evil. And obviously, because we're creating Splatoon 4, we get to create Splatoon lore as well. So this is going to be in between the War of the Octowings and Inklings and Splatoon 1. It's going to be a bit of a short period of time where the Sharklings tried to take over, but the story will end with us defeating them and them having to retreat back underwater because they can actually go in water and we can't. The weapons they use will shoot water and basically be water guns, and we know Inklings take damage from water, so this will actually make a lot of sense. There's a bunch of other things that we need added as well, like, obviously better bosses, and a bunch of other things, but for the community-wise, I think I've covered every big thing that you guys all kind of talked about, and there were a lot of things as well you guys talked about that were very common, but I already talked about those in past videos, such as the Great Turf War being a Splatoon game, and also I talked about more customization. You can check out all of those videos on the channel, but for now, that's all that we can do as the creators of Splatoon 4. Comment down below things that you would change if you were making Splatoon 4, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Later, End Gang.